Bhairaja Pandey sir, welcome to the Gorkha Spirit.
Thank you very much, Bhai. I am happy to be here.
How do you see the corruption in Nepal?
I see as a nation, we are by and large corrupt people. It is in our culture almost.
Leaders, bureaucrats, police, corruption authorities, they are corrupted. Public also?
Yes.
So how?
Corruption is part of our culture. Even from our village level, everyone at the village level also has some form of corruption going on. It is historically so. Our country has been run in a corrupt manner from top to bottom, and people have learned to accept corruption. They think that it is normal. Nepalese think that corruption is normal. And now, of course, the bigger beneficiaries of this corruption are the ones you mentioned, the bureaucrats and the politicians, because they get more money. They are the biggest beneficiaries. They are happy with the corruption system because the intellectuals, the bureaucrats, and all the middle level people in Nepal are benefiting from corruption and they enjoy it.
Making corruption as a culture, who is mostly responsible then?
Historically, it has come down to us. Historically, Nepalese have not learned to frown on corruption. From the time of our kings and from the Rana times, and every time corruption has become embedded in our system, and we have accepted it. So, but now, as it has gone, some people have become rich, and they are happy with corruption system. But the poor have learned to live with the consequences of corruption. They know that they are being cheated, but they think that it's normal. Karma ko phal. It's my fate. It's my fate, they say. So it's my past life that makes me live with corruption, with my poverty and all of that. So as a nation, we are probably among the most corrupt in the world.
So then, whose responsibility is to correct it then?
It's the responsibility of the enlightened. There are enlightened people in Nepal who can rescue the nation. Now, that is why the election system does not work in Nepal. We should not have election in Nepal because corruption is so deep that every election is fraught with corruption. So we will never get clean leaders. So we need a system to get enlightened people to come and govern the country. There are enlightened people, there are honest people, few in Nepal. They have to be made leaders and they have to be given the right to rule. Lot of power to rule. And they need a lot of support. So normally this kind of support comes from an institution, some form of power, and in Nepal it could come from the army. Army is one institution. It's not free of corruption, but it is one institution that is surviving. It has power. So army could help set up some intellectual, competent people to run the country. There are few of them, and that's the way to, then they can rescue. They can make it illegal and punishable. Corruption is highly punishable. They can make it like that. But few people will need to come up and take the reins of power in this country, not through election.
So the news we often read, our Prime Minister is also accused of lots of cases, corruption cases. So Prime Minister also involved in the corruption in our country?
He is part of the system. He is part of the system as all of us are. He cannot be out. you will not remain the Prime Minister if he is not corrupt. He has to, how does he pay all his supporters? How does he look after thousands and thousands of them? So everyone who is in public life will need money, and it will come only through corruption. There is no legal way of getting that kind of money. So this system will not survive without corruption. So the system we have introduced has corruption as its base. Otherwise it will not function.
They have to pay the rent of the office as well, yes?
They have to pay the rent of the office. They have to pay for the travel of the supporters. They have to pay for their food. They have to pay for their alcohol and the drinks, all of that. And they are not one. There are hundreds of thousands of them. So who will pay for all of that?
So the election and the political parties, how could we just correct from the corruption?
We need to do away with political parties. We need to do away with election. We have to say, we will select from the society 20-25 competent people
Only
to run the country. Those, if we select 20, there are lots of them there, honest, pragmatic and competent people. We select 25 of them, put them under one leadership, whether it's the king or the president, let them run the country. That's all we need. If we go through this election process, democracy is among the biggest nonsense for our type of nation. This democracy was developed in the West. This is not our system. And this government for the people, by the people, of the people is nonsense. It was okay for them. But for us, we need people who can take power and rule the country with strong hand. And we don't need many of them.
with good intention.
Good intention, competent, honest and pragmatic.
So the leaders whom we paid at this time, they are around more than 50,000.
Yes, that's where all the budget is going.
So how good we got thousands of leaders to the only 25, around 25?
We need to change the system. We need to change the system. We need to do away with the system. We have to start a new system under which we'll say, okay, we are going to select 25 people in Nepal that can run 25 ministries. And these will have to apply. They will have to apply. We will look at your CV. We'll look whether you are honest, competent and pragmatic or not. Once you pass that test, we will appoint you as the minister. That's all. 25 of them.
Leaders selected as a bureaucrats, like that way, yes?
Yes. Anyone who wants to be a bureaucrat also pass the test. You want to become a secretary of Home Ministry? Show me your qualification. You want to become a judge? Show me your qualification. We will look at that and we will appoint you.
Okay, after the politicians, bureaucrats is in the second number. It's people believe. Do you think it's true? In the matter of corruption?
Bureaucracy now, they all have to. It's all a system. It's all mutually feeding each other. So the politician and the bureaucrats, they have to feed each other. Bureaucrat will not remain a bureaucrat until he looks after the politician. So the whole system is working in unison. Each one supports the other. So the system as a whole is corrupt.
In the scandal cases, not only the ministers but also the top levels bureaucrats, government officers, they are involved in most of the cases. So how could we correct them?
We just have to make sure that we have a minister who will not tolerate these things, who will not tolerate corruption. If we begin with that, everything will clean up. But if we have a minister who expects something and then the bureaucrats give him something and then the judiciary who expects something, the whole system, it's connected. It's all connected. Everybody gets benefit except the poor people. poor and uneducated people of Nepal suffer. The children of Nepal that we sell, they suffer. Rest of the us, we benefit from the system and we enjoy it.
So it's a part of system. So there is no point of talking about police, army.
We are all
and other
part.
sectors.
We are all part of it.
It's all.
We are all part of it. It's a combined system. Everyone has learned to live with corruption and has learned to be part of it.
At the top, who should remain to control the corruption?
We need one leader who will say zero tolerance on corruption. Whoever it is, it could be the king, it could be the president, I don't know what form of government we will have, prime minister. One person will say, I hear you are corrupt, you are finished. That message will go through very fast. And you know what Lee Kuan Yew did? He said, the best person to report on corruption is your best friend. Your friend will know whether you are corrupt or not. So he invited all the friends without naming them, just report on your closest friends. So you find corrupt people and you and once the culture is established, then everything would be fine. Many cultures, corruption doesn't even come to your mind because they have decided that corruption is not acceptable. They know it, it's an instinct. People say corruption is done. But right now, if you are not corrupt, you are considered silly in our society.
Thank you, sir, for joining with us.
Thank you, bhai. Thank you, bhai.